When we read this passage, a natural question arises in our hearts, which is, why did God respond so strongly? The Jerusalem temple at that time was filled with corruption, far worse than what Ananias and Sapphira did. This passage is not about the amount of the offering. It's not about the offering. This misunderstanding comes from assuming that the early church sharing of possessions was a requirement for being Christians. No, it was not a requirement. The sin of Ananias and Sapphira lies in much deeper place. Their actions reveal two key intentions. First, they wanted to appear as though they had done what the most devoted believers have done. And second, their motive seems to have been a secure political influence within the church community. But the problem was not lying to the apostle, but lying to God. Paul said, "How is it that Satan has filled your heart that you have lied to the Holy Spirit and have kept for yourself some of the money you received for the land? You have not lied just to human beings, but to God." Now that is the core problem of this event. The early Christian church was not merely a human gathering. It was not. But a holy community in which Holy Spirit truly dwelled. Therefore, lying within the church is not merely an ethical failure or relational issue. It becomes a matter of one's attitude toward the very presence of God. Therefore, God could not allow deception to corrupt this newly established community. He drew a clear boundary, and Ananias and Sapphira became the example. What was tolerated in the abandoned temple would not be permitted in the Christian church. It was not to scare the believers, but to preserve the church community as a holy community. Because now it is a dwelling place of God. It needs to be holy. Through this, the early Christian church recognized God's presence among them and pursued more devout life. Now that is what we must become, today's church. And may each one of us become a living temple of His presence.